What's up, guys? Out here just outside of Littleton, Colorado, and today we're going to be hiking segment 1 of the Colorado Trail. For a full hike review and more information about the Colorado Trail segment 1, you can check the link below. So this is something Jackie and I have been talking about doing for a long time, and finally we're going to get started on it. We are going to be segment hiking it, and hopefully we'll be completing it in the next 2 or 3 years, so videos coming pretty frequently, but unfortunately through hiking is not an option for us just because of our jobs, although we'd love to do that. So the segment 1 here is 16.6 miles, so probably closer to 17, about 2,000 feet of elevation gain, and this is the only segment that is not dog friendly. So the first 6 miles are through the canyon here, and they protect the bighorn sheep, and that is why you're not allowed to bring your dogs. There's also no camping in the first 7 miles as well, so hopefully if this is your first segment you don't need to camp that soon, but just a quick note about that as well. Yeah, we'll get started here. The first, this is Waterton Canyon, so it's a very popular area to hike and bike, so the first like 6 or 7 miles will be pretty busy, but after that it should be smooth sailing and by ourselves. So let's talk a little bit about what the Colorado Trail actually is before we dive into this video here. So Colorado Trail is a consistent trail that stretches all the way from Denver, aka Littleton, to Durango, which is about 3.5 miles outside of the city there. The trail has 28 segments for the standard route, and it's 485 miles long. They have recently added 10 more segments, 5 for bikes, so that you can bike the whole Colorado Trail, and then 5 in the Collegiate Peak West. So there's a total of like 560 something miles of trail. We are just going to be hiking the standard 28 segments. This has got to be the only major trail in this country that starts off or ends, however you're doing it, with pavement. Look at all these turkeys. Just hit the mile marker and we're starting to enter this beautiful canyon. Very popular with bikers and runners, so very much seems out of place right now with our bags. Trail is basically a road. I feel like any beginning or end of a big trail like this, it's probably pretty tough to make it feel secluded, but yeah, so far so good. A lot of fishermen here too. Very pretty so far. So this area is known for its bighorn sheep, and there they are. About 10, 11 of them up there. Little babies over here. Pretty cute. Just about 6.5 miles in, and you're gonna kind of reach the initial end of this bike path, and you'll see this sign behind me here. Tells you to keep going this way. So now you have another trail junction. You can go left here if you want to add on another 3 miles of hiking. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you will just go right up here, and yeah, then there's about 1.5 miles, and this is where the climbing really starts. We've really gained like no elevation to this point, so from here on out will be pretty steady elevation all the way to the end of segment 1, which is South Platte River. Just under 7 miles, and we're finally off of that service road and now on like a 4x4 road. Maybe eventually we'll get on a trail. It's showing you lots of signs today. So 10 miles to the end of this segment. Obviously, as you can read, camping is permitted. Beyond this point, dogs are also allowed at this point too. Forgot to mention that once you leave that last dam, that big one that I showed you on the service road still, that's the last source of water for this segment. So if you need a pump or do whatever, get it there. So this is the connector with Roxborough State Park. If you wanted to start somewhere else, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but this is the way you're going to keep going here, as you can see. Just over 7 miles in. Pretty views, the canyon here. Finally on a trail, by the way. Working our way down this single track here, and this is our last kind of calm before the storm, if you will. After this downhill, there's like the first real climb of the Colorado Trail, and we'll be going from like, I believe, 6,000 to like 7,500 feet, so a pretty good climb, something around that. And then after we get to the tall point of the day, which is right around 12 miles, we'll be going downhill from like 12.5 to 16.8, and yeah, that'll wrap up the first segment. First couple of camp spots. There's one here. This one looks to be okay as well. It's crazy, finally starting to see those. 8.9 miles in. The book says that this is the last reliable source of water. As you can definitely tell, it is dried out. So, the comment I made earlier, which I wasn't sure would be true, the last really reliable source of water is going to be back near about 6 miles. So, if you have to pump for the day, plan on having no water sources from 6 to 16 miles of this first segment. Once you get to the end of the first segment, there's a big creek there, so you'll be able to fill it up no problem. But yeah, this is obviously dry. A little over 11 miles in, halfway decent views. We've been like right on the edge of them, and just like a couple of trees away from having really awesome views for like this whole side of this foothill here. But yeah, not bad at all. A little over 12.5. Finally got some nice views up here. Bit breezy. So where we came from, there's the reservoir, there's a waterfall, and then Waterton Canyon is there. West views have been tough to come by all day. Here we go. First halfway decent look into the future of our segments here. A little under 14 miles, and you can actually see segment 2 is you're going to kind of work your way up in here. Trail is like right around there. But anyway, our car is parked right behind this dead tree. Segment 1 is almost over. We can see the remainder of the way we go here. As you can tell by the hillside here, segment 2, which will be coming soon, has a lot of hiking through burned areas, so it's not going to be as pleasant as this segment for a little bit of it. This segment's pretty annoying because I just showed you like the top of the little ridge and then like where we're going, which was, you know, pretty much like a straight line down from where we were. Instead, we have another 2.5 miles of switchbacks just to descend probably, I don't know, 500-600 feet. So I understand why, obviously, but I'm still allowed to complain about it. Pretty fall view here. Some foliage. I don't know if you want to call it foliage, but yeah, This is a cool little view, and this is the end of segment 1 for the most part. Just about at the end of this segment, and I just want to show you a couple camping options here in case you are through hiking. The next segment won't have good camping options for a bit. You could camp along the road. I mean, there's probably stuff closer to the car, but we're very close, and these are like not bad at all. So just want to point those out to you. Segment 1 in the books. It was a pretty nice trail overall. Super easy to follow, like absolutely no way you can really get lost. Rollers, but nothing crazy in terms of elevation. And yeah, the segment 2 starts right behind me here. So for a full hike review and more information about segment 1 of the Colorado Trail, you can check the link below. To follow along with us on our journey throughout this Colorado Trail, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll also have a playlist coming. Thanks for watching this video of segment 1 of the Colorado Trail. Please subscribe not to miss any future trail segments, and we'll see you next time on the next segment, segment 2.